If you follow this channel, or if you're even a part of my Inner Circle membership, then you know that I'm into single source of truth. And I really like minimalism, and everything should be in one system. But in the end of the day, there's not the one and all solution. Which is why I have so many different apps to manage it all. Alright, so digital note-taking, knowledge management, task management, and you name it. However, I'm using the G Suite for my business and for my personal life. And there's a reason, because it integrates with most of my other apps. And that's really great. So for time management, I'm using Google Calendar in two-way synchronization with Todoist. And Todoist is my personal task manager. And Notion is my knowledge management system. And Rome Research is my note-taking system. And. What I'm really struggling with is still a proper project management tool. So I recently switched from Asana to ClickUp. And ClickUp is really great. I mean, it has all the bells and whistles you need. But then I heard about Google Tables. And I thought, finally, this sounds like the missing piece in the whole G Suite thing, isn't it? Because we get Gmail, Google Calendar, we also get Google Tasks, we get the Google Keep with the post-its and all this. We have the G Sheet, the G Docs, everything is tightly integrated with each other and works perfectly together. So what was really missing is a proper project management tool. And I have no idea if Google Tables is actually a proper task management tool or project management tool, because I haven't tested it yet. But I heard about it and I saw some screenshots. So what I did, I accessed the beta and I'm just in. And now we will have a look together for the first time for me as well at Google Tables. So let's find out what's in it. So here we are in Tables, and you see just on top left that that's the beta version and that it's me. You see it right here. So that's my account showing up here. All you have to do is to go to this website. So you have to be logged into your Google account if you have one, and then you will just need to enter this website and then you are in. And it's really the first time I'm looking at this. And let's now go through this together. So what do we see? I already see some upgrade options there, and we see some tables. So it's 0 of 100, alright, rows, attachment, bot actions. And what I learned so far from other videos that I saw, actually that it's pretty related to or comparable to Airtable. So if you don't know about Airtable, it is a table-based knowledge management system that you can also use for project management and all the other things. And it's a really complex thing. And I'm really excited when I already read here bot actions. I'm really into automations. So I hope this will help us to work with this. And I see already start with a template below or import from sheets. So I can actually use my G Sheets as it looks like that I can use this. So we have a simple task tracker here. We have a project tracker and we have a custom tracker, CRM, so that we can use for customer tracking. So it looks like. And usually I don't like using templates. So we have welcome to tables and we see an introduction video here. So let's see how we get started. Okay, that's pretty basic what they show here. So I really want to get my hands dirty here now. And I just want to start. Enjoy using tables. So I'm not sure if I want to use a template. I think I will just start from scratch. So make new. And it seems we have workspaces, blank table. And I'm not sure if the table is part of a workspace. So let's just go to the workspaces. So that's empty, obviously. So I will start with a blank workspace. And table makes it easy to organize your data and to automate your workflow. So automate your workflow sounds already awesome, because that's really a big thing that I miss in Notion. And I really hope they will speed up the game now and implement API and automations that I'm happy. So here we have it out of the box. And so far it is for free. Okay, so another tutorial. So it really shows you everything you need. Okay, it seems we also got grid, queue and board views. We have also different filters. Okay, saving views, that's also great. And finish, and we can share it. And if you're using Google applications, then you're pretty familiar with the layout and G Sheets and all the others. It looks the same, and you have the share button up here. So I can share this workspace now with others from my company or even with you out there. And now let's see, I can have a form here. That's also nice. It seems I can just create yeah, that's great. So I can create forms that allows me to fill the table actually. So you see untitled column 1, 2, 3. So that's actually, let's just delete this. That's what we have here. So that's the first workspace with a table. I see. And now I can have different tables. Okay. So it's like one G sheet with the different tabs. So here it's called each is a single table. Let's just rename this to make it more obvious. Put it this way, let's see what we have here. Oh, auto ID, that's also good. That means as soon you add a new row, it will count upwards, but you will never be able to duplicate this ID. So let's just do this and to show you. So that's different from the row number. So you see this, as soon I move this upwards, see it stays ID 3. No matter what row we are in. So let's just do something else. So that's a fixed ID. That's really something important if you are tracking, for example, case numbers or incident numbers or things like this. This is really important because this way you can ensure that one row really has a fixed number nobody can change. This number is not changeable. So as soon you add a new row, you get a new number, but as I said, as soon you move it, it stays for this number. So this means when I have a thing like here, like dog, cat, whatever. So 4 is cat, dog. So even the row numbers change, we have this ID linked to this. That's a good thing to have. And I haven't seen this anywhere else, maybe in Airtable, but not in Notion. So that's interesting. So let's see what else is there. So person, allow multiple persons. That's also great. Let's keep it this way. So I guess I can add persons like this. Yeah, myself. That's great. And I can add other persons as well. That's also great. So this means everybody I have with the same paperlessmovement.com email, I can easily add there because they're already in my ecosystem, and that's really something really convenient. I don't need them to sign into a different product. They can just start working in there. So let's see, then we have a Dropbox, I think a checkbox, oh, even a checklist, okay. Let's see, let's name this to do. Aha. And then, what is it? Do I need to... Aha. Yeah, predefined checklist. That's really nice. So for each line, I can have an own checklist. So to do 1. Okay. And now we have this in each line. So I can apply myself again. And now we have 0 of 3. And I can check this off and I see then 2 of 3. So 1 is still open. That's also great. So let's see, description. So just we have this for the forms that I should try to do in the beginning. Now it makes more sense to you. So you see now the columns here in this form. I can just, well, let's name it a new form. I can give it a title, a description. So obviously I have to give it a title. First form ever. Optional, okay. That's a preview of the form actually. Okay, that's hidden, but I think I can unhide it. No, it's not possible. Okay, And now save this and let's see. Okay, the form is here. I can just go to this form now and I have something like this. And I think I can share this now with you. So I could do, for example, a customer survey and you could just tick off these boxes and give some description and press submit. And what this does, it will actually add a new line here. You see, it just created a new row with this information in there. So obviously to do is not, telling you much, but I think you get the idea behind this. So that's interesting, but also nothing, uncommon. In Asana and ClickUp, I have these forms as well. Let's see what else we have here. So we have a date. We have let's name it date column. Okay, we have tags. So why is it named? Under here I can write the text. Now let's see if I can actually add tags on the fly like in Notion. Yeah. Just add new tag. This works as well. Can I change colors? So I can comment. So I have a comment on it's a comment thread. So where does it show that I commented something? Here. It seems here. I see that on this row I have a comment. So that's the comment thread, and once this goes up, we have all the comments for this row just on here. That's interesting as well. So I guess I can solve this. No, I can add somebody, but it stays as it is. So the only way I can do this is to delete it, seems. So let's see what else we have here. We have the drop down, we have checkboxes. So obviously, so pretty common stuff. The only thing that caught my eye was actually the ID in the beginning, but everything else, and except the checklist. But still, I mean, if you're using Notion or something like this, you're pretty familiar to this. So let's see if I can open in record view. That's what I mean. So it looks much more like the Notion view, but also the Airtable view. And let's see if there is something else. There's location. Let's see what this will do. So it's looking for locations. It changed the language even. Now let's see for the view. I have a map layout. Oh, that's interesting. So it's using Google Maps to show me the spots, and then when I click, oh, that's interesting. That's really interesting. I know Airtable, they all have these add-ons and so on where you can do equal stuff, but here we really, have everything hands-on, everything available already as it is by Google, and we can leverage on their own tools. That's interesting. So you can actually have a map view here. So let's go back to the grid layout, and what I can do now, I can group table rows, and then I can choose an option like by person. And now it's split into this view. So that's really something I also really like. And that's not available in Notion, for example. But it is really nice in ClickUp, so that you actually can get a split view of one table. So a grouped view of this table. That's really great. And by actually grouping this and by adding a drop down, let's say, let's make this a status update or progress, and then we name this not started, in progress, and completed. Okay, I can change the colors here, but it seems it's limited colors, so I have to pick from some. Okay. And done. And now that I have a progress bar, I think I can now choose the Kanban board layout. And it asks me to, okay, the columns that should be displayed on the cards. So let's pick the location as well. And that's it. And now you see there's the progress that I added in this column are now my Kanban columns. And that's really something nice. Now I can use those not in any position and put them to the different, status updates. So that's really nice as well. So I think in this situation, I will now check out bots here on the side. And what I want to do now, as soon as I switch it over to a different column, it should switch the assignee. So that's something typically I do, for example, in ClickUp when I'm video editing and I'm recording it, it is assigned to me. And as soon as I move it further to editing, the assignee will be switched. So let's see if this is possible. Okay, select a trigger, which is, if something happens, and that's already really interesting. I have a time-based trigger that triggers on a regular basis. That's really interesting already. If a new row is added or if a row is removed, and for the column value changes, and in here I could just choose progress. Okay, so if the row matches the following conditions, if progress is in progress, then update row. Oh, I can even send email. I can even send a webhook. So a webhook is actually something that you can use to trigger other applications. So for example, my Nanoleafs, I could connect now Google Tables together with my IFT, which is an automation software like Zapier and so on, to connect different applications. And I could use IFTTT to connect my Google table with this bot. And if something happens, like, a row is added, then my Nanoleafs could blink. That's actually something that I could build and that I also integrated in other systems already. But for now, we want we have this in mind, which was update row. And now I can change this person to me. Save. Okay, so let's just unassign this. So let's say it's not started, so nobody is assigned to this. And now we want to start the process. All I do is just drag it over and it should automate perfectly. Works. And that's just a simple automation I built here. So you see already, I can change all the things like location and all this, or even tick off these boxes just by moving this along. So let's see if I bring it back and just delete again. And now when I carry it over, it should assign me and it also should tick, here, 1 of 3. So this is really fast as well, because sometimes in other applications it's not as fast, and that's really nice. Okay, so that's for the Kanban view. And for some bots, let's see relationships. Okay, that's now we come into the Notion area where we have databases and we can set up relationships. So obviously I need to have a second table for this. So let's make this simple. Let's also ungroup this. And now we have everything again the same. And let's say we have the locations here. Okay, something like this. So let's just put it this way. I also add me to this. And now we make another table. and we name this job title, for example. And here we use a drop down again, and now we just add a new job title. So, and now let's see how the relationship works. Add a new lookup table to link to, so table 1, relationship name, rel 1, and the source column. Aha, and now I have the columns. It works equally like it is in Notion, for example. Now I have the columns from table 1, and now I can pick the person here. And I also say the display name, person. And now I should get, another relation column here. And now I can just say, pick this row. So let's say this is a people column. And this is a job column. So everything, I didn't read anything about it, how to use it or whatever. It's really intuitive to use. So I can even, if you're used to Google, then you already know how everything works. And that's I really like. So we have the, not job column, but jobs. And now I can actually link this person there to here, and it's now related. So this should mean, okay, what I actually like in Notion is that it adds the column as well then, the relation. So I see the relation two-way. Might be the case that we see it here from other tables. Can just pick this one. And then I can use well, let's do it without it. So I can use this one and do it the other way around, but that's something I'm not really happy about. It's only count. So that's strange. So all it does here now is showing me the count. So this ID number 2, Tom Solid, maybe I just delete the others so it's less confusing, has one job in the other column. So that makes sense because when I'm here, it is related. Okay, I have to, we won't figure all this out today. I was just wanted to look into tables. That goes too much into detail. I'm always trying to dig very deep into these apps when I use a new one and challenge it all the time. But for now, it is a better version, and I'm really inspired, and it's really looking good for something free. But talking about free, let's see. I already created 3 bots, but it's still good. 50 bots. You have to create 50 automations to really fill this up, and you can do already a lot by using this. So you have 1 GB of attachment, 1,000 rows, and 100 tables. And then let's see how much this else costs. The current plan. So for paid, it would be $10 per month, which is not too much for 10 gigabytes, 500 actions, 12 weeks of history. Okay, sounds good. But now the question that comes up for me is, how would I actually use it? Okay, so what would it replace in my actual productivity system right now? To me, it is too limited compared to Notion. The first look at it. Obviously I can, it's a database I can fill up and I can make some check marks. But how, for example, it's for Okay, let's just load a template. Maybe I just don't get it properly. So let's use a project tracker or Agile Scrum tracker. That's it? No, that's the instructions. Okay, here we go. We have a backlog. And I can give some prioritization. All right. But where's the assignment? Okay, it is still a backlog. So we are actually working on this. And here's the assignment. Here I could assign myself now. And now it's interesting when I add myself to these different parts. I go to a sprint. I mean, all this, it looks so complicated, or I mean, it looks so great and a lot of things, but in the end, it's just some summaries in the end. There's not much, and maybe for the normal person, much more confusing than it is helping. So certainly, if you're in a software company or something like this, you're pretty used to such tables, but not everybody is used to this. And now let's see, I assigned some tasks to me, and it would be great to see somewhere my tasks. And there I already see the limitation, I would say, because I have to actually go into there to see my tasks. Okay, all I can do is, I mean, here I even can only search for workspaces. It's very untypical for Google, because usually you can always search for everything. But let's keep in mind that this is a beta version. Okay, I can star something. Let's see what I can star. Well, just the work. Can I star? Nope. So now I start the workspace, but that's it. I can't even save the... I mean, at least we have up there the URL for each of these different tables. So as soon as I take this, copy it, go somewhere else and paste this link again, we go exactly to this view. So we could save this view as a bookmark, for example, and we can just click on this and we would go to this view, but those are already workarounds. This is, I want to, if I have a home button, then I'm expecting something like a list of my tasks or whatever. So I see who is assigned to the workspaces, how many tables, and when the last update was in there. But that's it, isn't it? Trash, templates, that's it. So I think we will stop here. I think we already checked out the whole beta version here. And I'm certain that they will come up with much more, especially, integration with calendar, for example. Let's see if there's any integration there yet. Being on my calendar, I actually didn't find anything that will allow me to connect Google Tables with Google Calendar. And if you're familiar with Google Suite, you actually have Google Tasks. And I would at least expect that my assigned task would pop up here, which is not the case. And there's no link, or in Google Keep, there's also nothing. So I think I will stop here. So the first look was very interesting at Google Tables. I think we have some bots automations there that worked very well. We saw we can create new rows. That's a typical table thing. If you're in Airtable or even in Google Sheets, there are a lot of similar things. Also much related to Notion and things like this. But for the beta version, as I said, it's nothing that, pushes me now over the edge where I say, oh my God, this is really the big game changer. It is a beta. And why do I say this? Because I didn't see any integration with any of the other Google apps, except for G-Sheets that I can import as a table into Google Tables. But, you know, assigning people to the different rows, I would have expected that they show up in Google Tasks or something like this. This might come later on. I'm not sure what they are planning to add in the future. But right now, yeah, it was good to see that Google is finally bringing up something like this, especially when it comes to automations. They certainly have an advantage with their system there. I hope you enjoyed this to discover Google Tables together with me. I certainly enjoyed it, and it is always fascinating for me to look into new tools. That's really something, it's my hate-love relationship, because I'm always tempted to switch tools, but I will stick to my tools that I have right now in my productivity system that you saw in my video about Productivity System 2020. And they have still to go a long way to convince me that I will switch to Google Tables or something like this. But as I said, I really like the fact that Google is working on something like this, and I'm certainly having a close eye onto this. And if you want to stay up to date on apps like this, but also on other productivity systems, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and I catch you up next time.